The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has been making quite an impression lately. To its addictive gameplay and almost Metroid-like atmosphere of exploration, it's fast becoming a favorite to many Zelda enthusiasts. But what about the hidden lore and secrets behind this title? Well, the Chamber of Sages is back with 10 very prominent lore secrets within Breath of the Wild. So let's get started. Coming in at the top of the list, we see a possible origin of the Gerudo tribe. Within the Zelda series, this seemingly Amazonian-like race seldom receives any backstory or lore regarding them. However, within Breath of the Wild, there are several pillars that tells of their culture. When translated, the most prominent pillar reads, Gerudo, a resilient, desert flower facing the sun's gaze. Gerudo grows brilliant while others fade. This translation may allude to the Gerudo being named after a desert flower, which may or may not be the case considering the Gerudo dragonfly in Skyward Sword. But it is an interesting translation nonetheless. Coming in at number 9, we get the establishment of the new Zora Kingdom. Now, there seems to be a lot of ruckus about how both the Rito and Zora can seemingly coexist at the same time. To be brief, the Rito are said to be an evolved form of the Zora, yet they seemingly coexist in Breath of the Wild for some reason. A possible answer to this lies in Zoras Domain, where it is said that a new Zora kingdom was established 10,000 years ago before the events of the game, meaning this Zoras Domain is relatively new, at least when it comes to Zora years, as it is said that they have a much longer lifespan compared to Hylians. In other words, what this could mean is that the Rito within Breath of the Wild are descended from the original Zora tribe in Hyrule, like we see in Wind Waker, while the Zora in this new kingdom recently migrated to the region. Number 8.
Say hey there, young one! Up top, above you!
Now, this is an interesting one. Prince Sidon is a fan favorite character ever since he was shown off in the new game. However, he does have a unique scar on his head. How the story goes is that a giant Octorok was found in Hatana Bay. In retaliation to this, Prince Sidon went off to kill the beast. However, the battle proved to be an arduous one, as the Octorok managed to swallow Sidon whole. However, Sidon pierced the Octorok from within using a spear. Now, it isn't really stated outright that Sidon got his scar this way, but it does hold similarities about how his father gained a similar scar from fighting a guardian. Number 7. For this one, we have the death of Zelda's mother. Now, across the story of the game, Zelda finds difficulty in learning how to use sealing magic. This was mainly due to her mother dying. Originally, she was supposed to teach Zelda how to use her magic, but sadly no, thus causing the cycle of frustration within Zelda that we see play out through the memories of the game. Interestingly, however, the cause of death of Zelda's mother was never specified. Whether she died by natural or unnatural means is something we don't really know. But, considering that she died relatively young, something tragic must have happened. Number 6. Now, this is one of my favorites. For number 6, we have Ganondorf's Horse. In other Zelda games, we do see Ganon's horse, which is said to be a black Gerudo stallion. And interestingly enough, within Breath of the Wild, we do see a similar looking mount. However, this horse is absolutely massive. It towers over the other horses in the game. Now, it isn't directly stated that this horse is descended from Ganondorf's, but it does have a striking similarity. Plus, you find this horse fairly close to the Gerudo region. So is this horse descended from Ganondorf's? Maybe, maybe not. Now, the next one up is a bit of a weird one. Within Majora's Mask, you encounter this fallen Goron known as Darmani. During the game, you free his spirit inside a mask. When you wear this mask, you take on the form of a Goron resembling him, while still retaining certain features of Link. For some reason, there is a statue of the same Goron within Breath of the Wild. Now, what does this mean? I have no idea. Is there some kind of connection between the Gorons in Breath of the Wild to the ones found in Majora's Mask? Or even a connection between Hyrule and Termina? Well, I guess this is one for the Zelda theorists. Number 4, this one is a really neat reference that could have gone unnoticed by many players. During the events of Twilight Princess, when you encounter Ganondorf, he is sitting on the throne room in Hyrule Castle. In this scene, he is sitting in a very unique manner, with his fist touching his chin. Now in Breath of the Wild, Raiju, the chieftain of the Gerudo, is sitting in this exact same position. Was this done on purpose? Perhaps, but does that mean that Ganondorf and Raiju are related? Well, it would make sense, as she is stated to be a descendant from a line of Gerudo chieftains, and since Ganondorf used to be a chieftain himself, it may be possible that she is actually related to him in some way. Number 3. Within Breath of the Wild, you gain the Barbarian Armor, which increases your attack power. It is said to be created by a barbarian tribe which resides in Faron. Now, if you go to the same place, you can see the ruins spread about. Generally, you see dragon statues, but the civilization is nowhere to be found. A popular theory suggests that the residents of Lorelin Village are actually descended from the tribe, considering how close they are to Faron. But questions still remain about why the civilization fell apart, and where did they go? Again, I suppose we will give this one to the Zelda theorists. Number 2, now this one is very unique. Turns out that 10,000 years before the game takes place, the Kingdom of Hyrule, along with the Sheikah, partnered to take out Calamity Ganon. However, at the time, the Sheikah were extremely advanced in terms of their technology. Afraid that the Sheikah might eclipse Hylian authority, the Kingdom of Hyrule banished the Sheikah, and thus caused the Sheikah to separate from their tech. Obviously, this didn't sit too well with some Sheikah members. As a result, the Yiga clan was formed, dedicated to seek vengeance against the Hylians, thus paving the way to the rest of the events within the game. Now, before we get to number 1, here's an honorable mention, Lon Lon Ranch. Within Ocarina of Time, we are introduced to this location. However, within Breath of the Wild, you see a ranch similar to this, but they are probably different ranches considering that Breath of the Wild takes place thousands of years after any other Zelda game. But the reference is a welcomed one nonetheless. And finally, for number 1, we get Cass's mentor. Now, within Breath of the Wild, this Rito known as Cass helps you out on several shrine quests. He does this by singing lyrics that were passed down to him. Now, it is later revealed he does this thanks to his teacher, who was a Sheikah bard. Interestingly, this bard had a crush on Zelda, but knew that such a union wouldn't be possible. Needless to say, he was jealous of Link due to this, but because of Calamity Ganon, he set aside his personal grievance and used his talents to guide Link in the future to gain access to the Sheikah shrines, thus teaching Cass how to sing songs that would later help out Link and the woman he loved, long after his own death. Now that is dedication. So those are 10 Breath of the Wild lore secrets. Which one did you like the most? And if we missed any, feel free to comment below. Well guys, the Chamber of Sages is back, and hopefully this time we won't go under another 5-month hiatus. But anyways, we hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day or night, and take care.